Hello and welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm Mary Trimble and these are your readings from the 13th through to the 18th. I'm really sorry that it's late. I put a video out so you'll know why that is happening, and you may hear some banging in the background. They are renovating the floor beneath me, but it's not as bad as it was. So I'm just going to go ahead with these readings. A little bit about the astrology report. I will put a timeline if you're looking at your sun, moon and rising, so you're looking at multiple videos. I will put a time where you can skip the report if you've seen it already. So the big news this week is the new moon in Pisces. This is a beautiful, it's kind of going to be like an ethereal feeling because, you know, Neptune is in Pisces, and Pisces is this deep spiritual connection to oneness. Neptune is kind of dreamy and spiritual too. So we have this incredible opportunity to have deep meditations and connection with source energy and the collective, the oneness. Now, at the same time, the sun and the moon is trying to Jupiter, which is beautiful. It's about expansion and bigness and oneness, and it's about society, right? But Jupiter is going retrograde. Now, when a planet, but it's a very slow moving planet, right? So it's kind of a subtle energy. Now, when a planet is moving forward, it's kind of the external world, right? And then when a planet moves retrograde, it's about the internal world. So it's really important for us to go inside and see, and the aspects of that planet, you know, what's related to that planet. We can look inside and see where we can improve. It's really about self-reflective, self-growth. You know, it's all about healing too, and it's about releasing that which no longer works for us. Now, Chiron is also playing a part of this. So Chiron is the wounded healer, right? So we're going to have this kind of vulnerability. It's important for us to trust our emotions, right? See where our emotions lie. Go deep and allow the healing to take place, and then release it, because things are going to be moving into Aries, and that's like spring. That's the start of the astrological year. So it's about springing into action, right? So we need to kind of sloth all that does not work for us any longer. And we have this wonderful healing opportunity. So, you know, with healing comes vulnerability, and we have to allow that vulnerability to, you know, to happen so that we can heal. Now, we also have Mars is playing a big part, and it's square, which means it's not in a great aspect to Venus and Mercury. Excuse me. So we might have some communication issues. You know, Mars is like the planet of war. It's going to kind of give us some frustration mentally, communications. It's like we really have to, first of all, be aware what's happening astrologically, and then we can rein ourselves in. It's very important to kind of hold off on reacting, right? We can have these spurts of frustration and these kind of anger and saying things that we don't mean to be saying, don't mean to say, or what we say can be misconstrued. So it's very important to rein yourself in, to respond rather than to react, right? So keep that in mind this week. But this beautiful new moon, listen, new moons are about new beginnings. We have this really fresh restart, you know. It's a beautiful opportunity to start over, something fresh. So it's important for your intentions and to be really positive and optimistic. You know, new moons are about putting our intentions out there. And I always say it's not about putting your goals down. It's about how you would feel if your goals describing how you feel if you reached your goal. So it's when you start describing it and start writing it down, you're in that feeling and you're attracting that, right? That's the law of the universe. Thoughts are electric and feelings are magnetic. So write down how it would feel if this dream happened, right? And describe that feeling. And as you describe it, you're going to be in it, and then you're going to attract it. Right? So wonderful, incredible opportunity this week. It's kind of exciting. So anyway, without further ado, let's go to your readings. Let's go to the cards for you guys. Hello, Aries, and welcome to your reading for the March the 13th through March the 18th. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And please share, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All those links will be in the show more section below. If this is a general reading, personal reading information will be in the show more section below also. I also started a Patreon page, guys. So if you want to show me some love, nip over, check it. Listen, it doesn't cost anything to check that out. I do all these wonderful posts for patrons only. They get Tarot Tuesdays for patrons only. So they've already got their readings. So anyway, your first card, darling, is the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is when we're in our head, darling. Like, this is kind of sleepless nights. So I have a feeling, Aries, that some of you are going over and over and your mind's going worst case scenario, this is. And this is really not seeing your, not being in the moment. It's being in the monkey, what we call the monkey brain in meditation, right? This is where you've allowed your brain and that insane, constant, going over and over and over again in your head. You have allowed that to take over, and you're identifying it as your reality. So meditate, darling. That's how to quieten this. Look, this is like, you know, there's no swords hanging over you. Of course, you're feeling, this is feeling persecuted. And this is also, you know, known as the drama queen card, Aries. Come out of your head, basically. And we've got the Six of Water. And the Six of Water is, it's like romanticizing over the past. It's lamenting about the past. And sometimes it's childhood issues coming up. Look, this is really interesting because we've got Chiron, the wounded warrior. And if you looked at the intro, you know, it's all about the astrological aspects and transits happening this week. This is an opportunity for you to heal. So don't stay in your head. Look at your emotions, look at where they're coming from, yes, right? And bring them up to the surface so that you can heal them and release them. This is a time to release, slough off all that stuff that no longer works for you. But definitely, look, we have this kind of ethereal kind of, you know, we've got Neptune in Pisces, we've got this new moon. It's like, you know, it's dreamy, it's not being in the moment kind of thing, you know. Neptune is does kind of, Neptune rules kind of insanity, right? It represents insanity in some cases. So this is kind of insanity. This is like up in your head, creating all this drama, right? So you need to kind of bring this stuff up to the surface and allow it to heal, Aries. Now, the next card we have is the Knight of Coins. This is about moving forward, right? But it's about moving forward slowly. I'm sorry for all the banging. I still have to, you know, do these readings, banging and all. I've just got some acceptance on it. They're renovating the floor below me. So this is the Knight of Coins. He's known as the Green Knight, right? This is about moving forward, yes, but very slowly, methodically. It's about looking at the terrain and, you know, weighing the pros and cons, but moving slowly and purposefully. So it's about, yes, moving forward, but moving forward slowly and carefully. and strategically. And you've got the Seven of Earth clarifying that card. And this is definitely a card where you are acknowledging the work that you've done and giving yourself credit for where you're at. You're right where you're supposed to be. When this card comes up, you are right where you're supposed to be, Aries. You're not supposed to, you know, stop, come out of your head. You know, this is like, I should have done this, I should have done that, I got to do that, I got to do this, and if I don't do this, this is going to happen, and oh my God, and blah, 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 blah. And this is like, wait, hang back, smell the roses, give yourself credit, look at how far you have come, right? It's not about romanticizing the past, it's about looking at the hard work. Give yourself the credit for what you've done, right? Release the self-criticism. Release the criticism of others. You know, just be where you're at. Right? This is very, you know, understanding that you're right where you're meant to be, and have patience. Have restraint, right? Don't go rushing into a situation. Take your time. Take your time. Move slowly and methodically and strategically. Now, the next card you have is the High Priestess, darling. I'm telling you again, really meditate. This is the only way, meditation is the only way you can quieten this, shut this up. It's like, shut up. Quieten that mind, I can't cope, right? So the High Priestess, she's full of wisdom and knowledge and, you know, magical spells and all these wonderful intuitive psychic ability. All this knowledge is there for you. She's going to make it available for you, but in order to get this knowledge, you have to quieten the mind, and you have to go in and connect with source energy, with spirit, and all this knowledge will come up. All the answers are within, Aries. You know, you've got to quieten this mind so that you can move forward, right? And you've got the Four of Air clarifying this. This is exhaustion, right? This is like telling you to take a respite from society. This is telling you to get rest, to meditate. A form of rest and rejuvenation is meditation. You are getting a very clear message to meditate, Aries, this week. You know, think you've got this wonderful healing opportunity. You can heal from any past wounds, anything that's happened in the past or your childhood. It's a wonderful opportunity. Chiron, the wounded healer, is hanging about this week. So it's a good opportunity to bring this stuff up. Look at it and release it, right? But also meditate, darling, because you're exhausted. This has exhausted you, right? You've been in your head, like busy, 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 you know, worst case scenario. This has exhausted you physically. This is the mental exhaustion, this one, both of them. So definitely, I can't stress it enough, meditate. You know, I'll put the meditation link to my free meditation, guided meditation video. I'll put that link at the end of this video for you to click on it. And it's free, darling. Use it. Use it. Oh my goodness, I forgot to put the mic in. So this, gosh, this may not, you know, communications can be a little challenging this week, and I have a feeling this is why for you guys. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah, I love you all.
To inquire about or purchase any of Mary's services, please email Mary at liveinthesolution.com.